Derek, thanks very much for inviting us to your stand here at MAPIC. Just tell me a little bit more about the project, particularly in terms of Cherrywood.
Sure. Cherrywood is the largest mixed-use development in Ireland. It's 324 hectares, and at the core of this is a new town centre scheme known as Cherrywood. It really is a special scheme because it's a case study of what the future of scale retail schemes can and possibly should be. It's a scale retail offering in a high-density urban setting with direct transport interfaces with road and rail. But I think more importantly, it is part of the big push now to right-size retail. So making sure that every retail category within your scheme is the perfect size in terms of what's required by retailers going forward. Furthermore, there's a big push into experience-led design. It's not a shopping mall. It's a streets and squares scheme. It's more authentic in terms of the sense of place and the public realm. And these are the sort of elements that really represent what Cherrywood is and why it's gaining the interest and confidence of retailers and investors in Europe.
And it's quite interesting, that point about authenticity and also that mixed use element, because they seem to be certainly ways for the industry to be moving forward in retail.
Correct, and yeah, I should make it very clear that it is retail-led mixed use, urban retail-led mixed use. And what's important there is not just having the mixed uses, but it's how you stitch them all together on the customer journey. So what we're really trying to do is make it a pleasure for customers, a great experience, effortless, as they move between different types of uses. And those different types of uses are really bringing different types of people at different times of day for different reasons. And this is what is going to make scale retail successful in the future.
And in terms of the project, what are the basic timelines for it?
Okay, so we're looking to get started with this project towards mid-year 2020 and look to launch towards the end of 2022. So far we've let 20% of the scheme. We've got a further 25% under negotiation as we speak. So we're moving really forward well on the leasing front. And we've got a lot of support from the market generally, who are really looking towards Cherrywood and Hines to demonstrate here what is the scale retail offer of the future look like, because we're really one of the only developers out there in Europe at the moment who are doing a large scale offering off the back of such major structural change in the industry. So there is a lot of attention on the development.
And just in terms of the makeup of the development, how much of that is residential versus retail? What's the makeup of it?
Okay, so the core plot is actually about 15% of office, around 10% of residential, the rest being more traditional retail, F&B, entertainment and leisure uses. Having said that, we also have around 1,400 apartments directly wrapping around the site, and more further afield we have further Grade A offices and residences. In fact, the broader Cherrywood urban centre that's being developed from the ground up will ultimately house close to 30,000 people, 20,000 office workers, 6 schools with around 4,500 students. So it's a whole urban community that is being built from the ground up around this central social node called the town centre.
It's interesting that here at MAPIC, mixed use but also authenticity, community, all of those aspects have really come to the fore. So thanks very much for sharing, I suppose, your insights and views and particularly information about the project, and I look forward to seeing, I suppose, how Cherrywood develops.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for your interest.